Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here coming to you live from Escondido, California. I hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling day. My day has been very full, very full. So starting off with the fact that I now have to report at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning in Temecula to do jury service. So I sent my thing in after 5:30 tonight. It took them forever to reply on the text message system that they have, but I do have to report. So Zeffie will be spending the day at the dog sitters, and she'll absolutely love that. She loves playing with the dogs there, and had a great time the last time she was there for a day. So very excited that I was able to get her in, but I do need to drop her off like just before 7 o'clock so I can get to the courthouse by 8. So that was that. So I'll be an early night tonight, which is just as well because I'm feeling very tired after a very full day today. Let's see, what else? Oh, being open to receiving. So today in my memories, it popped up that a year ago I posted a picture of looking out over Rancho Bernardo on a walk that Gus and I used to do, and you can see us shadowed on the ground. And last year I put in the post that I was probably I was open. I was now open. What did I put there? I was open to receive it, to, open. I was at that point where I could now open up to receive a new dog. And so here I am a year later with Zeffie, and I've had her now coming up 12 weeks. So, man, it's hard to believe. No, it can't be right. 12 weeks? 16th since the 16th of June. So 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, 11 weeks. Maybe it's 11 weeks. But, so it's amazing how that when you start opening yourself up to receiving things, because I actually saw her in a vision on the 23rd of June last year and wrote about her in my journal. The only thing was that I wrote that it was a male, because I thought it was going to be a male, and be 70 pounds, but she's like just under half the weight. Oh, which reminds me, I was at the Petco with her yesterday, and they had scales there, so I popped her on the scales, and she was 28.6 pounds. So she's getting her weight on nicely, although she still looks about the same size. I mean, I haven't adjusted her harness or anything. If anything, I want to make it smaller. And she's still not eating that much. She only eats 1 to 2 cups a day when she's supposed to be eating 2 to 4 cups a day. And so, she doesn't get very hungry. But then, of course, she's getting a lot of treats throughout the day with training. So that probably makes up another cup just in that, because they're little tiny treats they're about the size of her kibble. So I guess she probably gets about a cup full of those a day too. So she'll be going off to that. So being open to receiving. So at that point, I was open to receiving. The 23rd of June, I had a vision of Zeffie, or wrote the name down. It was actually just going to be Zeph, because I thought it was a male. And when I actually met Zeffie, we added the Y on the end, and there she is. But her face was the exact same face I'd seen in that vision I'd seen on the 23rd of June. So the 16th of November, I got her, and here we are a year after I made that posting. And now got another dog in my life. So it's just, how open are you to receiving things that you're wanting in your life? And it kind of made me think, and then I thought about all the other things, like the 15th of March 2018, I made the decision I was going to go and live. I was going to, the following year when the lease was up on the place that we were renting, I was going to sell everything and go live in an RV. Well, I got rid of most of the stuff. I still can't believe I have a storage unit full of stuff. And bought my RV on May 4th and moved into it May 5th last year. So there's another thing, it took over a year to do it, but it happened. The other one was less than a year. But, what are you open to receiving? So it was kind of interesting just thinking back when I saw that post. I was just thinking back to the stuff that, I opened myself up to for a new dog. But at that point, when I posted that post, Zeffie wasn't even born then. She wasn't born for another couple of months. And because her birthday is March 3rd. So that was kind of interesting. And I even wrote in the journal that when I met her, she would be 8, and when I met the dog, would be 8 months old, and she was 8 months old when I met her. So it's kind of interesting how things happen. So that one took less than a year to come to fruition. The RV took just over a year. And so now I'm sort of like looking at other things going, okay, that worked pretty well. What else am I open to receiving? So what are you open to receiving? And a lot of times you want to be open to having a successful business, but then you have to define what a successful business is, because everybody has a different definition of success. So is it making enough money that it just covers itself and gives you enough money to live on, just basic needs and all that sort of stuff, or is it a business that thrives and gives you more than enough to live on, and helps you do other things and all that sort of stuff? So it's kind of interesting thinking of that. When I saw that post this morning, it just kind of reminded me that I need to be a little more open on some of these things instead of keeping them secret and hiding them away. So I'm going to be working on that a little bit more. Operation organization is underway. I got my totes today. We did all the measurements this morning. So I did all the measurements of the cabinets this morning while we were dumping the tanks, and Zeffie was following me all the way around. Mind you, she didn't have a choice. I had the leash in one hand and a tape measure in the other hand as we're measuring the openings on each of the lockers and how deep the lockers were, so I knew how big to get the totes to go in there. And so I got my totes today, so I'm very happy to have them. And I thought, well, if I don't have to do jury service tomorrow, I will start getting that stuff organized. Well, got called into jury service, so won't be doing that tomorrow. But it is underway. And then as soon as I got back from running my errands and everything else, I had a really cool conversation with Susie from Madison, Wisconsin. And Susie has a travel business. So we're in the same field. But her speciality is voluntourism, which is basically volunteering, taking your vacation and you're volunteering somewhere in the world to do something. And they've worked with orphanages in many countries around the world, but their big one is they go down to Guatemala and they're building pop bottle schools. And they're taking the soda bottles and they stuff them full of garbage. Things like chip wrappers and candy wrappers and all that get stuffed into these bottles. And then they would put, I have a bottle here, this will work. They'll put one bottle this way and then the next one goes upside down on top of it. And then the next one goes the right way up. And they stack them all up. They wrap them in chicken wire or surrounded in chicken wire. They stuff the garbage in between the wrappers and everything in between the bottles as well. And they put a thin layer of concrete over them. And she told me that since, where was it? I wrote it down. Since 2011, she has helped build 129 schools. And she takes groups of anywhere from 15 to 25 people with her. Everything is included in the price, all their food, their hotel accommodation, all their transportation, everything. They fly them in and then bus them to the rural areas where they're building the schools. It takes about 3 months. It used to take 4 or 5 months to build, and now it takes about 3 months to build because there's people constantly going down there, go down for a week, and the next group comes in for a week, and then the next group comes in for a week. But they also include in there a trip to the Mayan ruins, so you can understand the culture of the people that you're building these schools for. And then they have a community walk where you're walking around. You do these walks, and you get to interact with the kids and stuff, and you get to see. These are some of the kids that are going to be working that are going to be using these schools. And the kids sometimes, if they're out of school and stuff, they'll come and help build. Well, of course, they're out of schools. So the kids will actually come and help build these schools as well. So it's kind of an interesting concept. And I'd kind of heard about voluntourism, and I wasn't exactly sure what it was until I had this conversation with Susie today. It just fascinated me. And I know that they've got a group going December the 3rd. They come back December the 9th. They go down December 3rd, come back December the 9th. And they've still got space available on that one. But it was just interesting listening to some of the things that she has done. And she's invited me, if I'm in Wisconsin at the right time, I get to go to one. She's invited me to go to one of her garbage can suppers. And I'm like, what on earth is a garden can supper? She says, we cook potatoes, sweet corn, brats, and onions in a garbage can in the backyard, and everybody comes. And I'm like, cool, except for the onions, I'm in. So she's going to let me know close to the date. I'll let her know when I'm coming into her area, and maybe I'll get to attend one of her garbage can suppers. So that sounded really cool. So yeah, we had an amazing conversation, lots of stuff in common, and just hearing about the work that they do with the volunteer stuff that they do. And even though she books travel regularly like I do, this is her speciality, is doing these volunteerism trips. So you go to this place, you do whatever needs to be done, like working with an orphanage or building schools, whatever it is, and you're basically volunteering your time for the week that you're on vacation. So you're getting a vacation, you're learning about the culture of the place that you're at, you're mingling with the local people, even if you may not even speak the language, and you're doing something good for everybody else. And I thought, what a cool thing. So I'm actually going to plan on going on one of those. I'm not sure if it's going to be this year, because this year's kind of a little on the full side, but more than likely be next year. So I want to keep that in mind. We're going to go build pop bottle schools. So that was a really cool conversation that I had there. And so between all of that, it's been a very full day. And right now I am off to go get my bag packed to go to the courthouse tomorrow, to sit in a jury room for the day, which means I won't have to go Friday. Yes. Because I'm just going to go and sit in the jury room. I can't see them doing any cases that are going to take a day, because next week is packed. I've got Sparkles getting spit polished on Monday, animals getting cleaned on Monday, it's getting detailed on Monday as well, by the same guy. So it'll be a wash and a polish, and then the car's going to get detailed. Tuesday, Sparkles is going, I'd say the Tuesday or Wednesday, Sparkles is going to go in to get the pre-trip checkup done with oil, get all the fluids checked, all of that sort of stuff. I think I have a battery that might need replacing, but I got to find it first, because apparently it's one of those older ones that you got to take the top off and check the water levels in there. So I happened to get a bottle of distilled water while I was out today, so I can put that in there when I figure out exactly where on my RV that battery is that I need to check. So yeah, and they'll check all the tire pressures for me. They'll get the tires done. They'll get the oil change done, and whatever else needs to be done for a pre-thing. And I'm also going to get them to check my oven and my furnace, so that if I need heat in some of the areas I'm going to where it gets a little cold, a little colder, then I'll be able to put the propane furnace on. And I want to get the oven going too, because kind of miss being able to cook stuff in the oven. It's been nice to cook stuff in the Instapot, but sometimes it's just different when it's an oven. An oven has a different taste to an Instapot. So I have some yummy salmon that I want to cook in my oven, but I'll probably end up doing that on the stovetop. I don't know yet. So yeah, and this is next week's fall, because Thursday we uproot and we head up to Santa Clarita. And so it's all go. So yeah, maybe, hopefully, no, I'm not going to be hopeful. Tomorrow I'm just going to spend a day sitting in a jury room reading for the day. I'll take my laptop with me, so I will have, because I've got work to do. Got quotes to get out, so I won't be able to do that I'll be able to do that while I'm sitting in the jury room. And yeah, that'll be my day, and that'll be my service done for a year. That's it. Putting it out there. Sitting in a jury room tomorrow, and that's the only day I'm going to have to be there. And then I'll come back and pick up Zeffie from the dog sitters, because I'll get her, I think it's 5:30 or 5:30 that we get released. So probably about 30 to 40 minutes after that, I'll be picking her up. But she's going to have a blast today, which means she's going to be a solid sleeper come Friday night and half of Saturday. Actually, tomorrow's Thursday, so she'll be a solid sleeper all day Friday. Yeah, maybe into Saturday, depending how much exercise she gets. But she got a lot of exercise today too. And she actually got left by herself today, and she did very, very well. I did give her calming supplements before I left. I kind of tricked her into those. I used them as a treat while we were doing some training. But then I followed up with some really yummy, yummy treats that she absolutely loves. So it didn't seem so bad. And then used the really, really yummy treats to get her in her crate, because she didn't want to go. When I told her she had to go to her crate, she was sort of like, and she just walked in the opposite direction and laid down on the floor like, nope. And then she starts whacking her tail on the floor as though to say, I'm here and I know you want me to go in there, but there's no way I'm going in there. But we got her in there. So anyway, that's it from me. I'm off to get my bag packed for the morning, make sure everything is good to go, so that I can get this stuff done, get this jury service thing out of the way tomorrow. And yeah, so hope you all have a super fantastic sparkling day. Oh, if you'd like to be connected with Susie regarding the Voluntourism, let me know and I will get you in contact with her. This is an area of travel I know absolutely nothing about. Yeah, but she is an expert on this area. So happy to pass you over to her if you're interested in helping build pop bottle schools in Guatemala. And you'll be down there for a week. Everything's taken care of. Your price covers everything, your airfare, your transfers, hotels, accommodation, food, the tours you get to do while you're down there. So it's an all-inclusive price. And they work with the foundation. What was the name of that foundation? Hug It Forward. So we're both huggers. We found out we're both huggers. We love giving hugs. And she works with an organization, and the organization she uses to build the pop bottle schools is called Hug It Forward. I love that. Oh, so like, yeah, I got to find out more about this one. And she gave me another couple, which I totally forgot to write down. So I'll have to send her a message on those. Anyway, I'm out of here. Got to get ready for tomorrow. Have a super fantastic, sparkling evening. And we will catch you tomorrow. And I'll let you know how my jury service went for the day. Hei konera!